Hello, Dr. Brady and my fellow cohort. This is Megan Jansen, and I'll be providing a PowerPoint on behavior disorders. To give a preview of the upcoming slides, I will be discussing 3 behavior disorders. The following disorders are autism, ADHD, which is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and bipolar disorder. And the following slides will discuss symptoms of each disorder, solutions and strategies to help in the classroom, as well as final comments on the disorders present. The first behavior disorder discussed is autism. Autism is a disorder usually evident in the first 3 years of age. It is a developmental disability which affects verbal and nonverbal communication, as well as social interactions. Now, some characteristics of autism include engagement in repetitious activities, resistance to environmental change or change in daily routines, and unusual responses to sensory experiences. Another characteristic of autism is engagement in repetitive activities and stereotyped movements. Now, in the state of Nebraska, autism is characterized in 3 different levels depending on the severity. And as mentioned above, children are usually diagnosed with autism before the age of 3, but if there are students that display questionable characteristics, they need to show all of the characteristics in the area of social communication, which are the following: deficits in social emotional reciprocity, deficits in nonverbal communicative behaviors, and deficits in developing, maintaining, and understanding relationships. Now, the link below is a video that will kind of give you an idea of what a person with autism would experience on a daily basis. The second behavior disorder is ADHD. Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder is a developmental disorder of self-control. It consists of problems with attention span, impulse control, and activity level. Students with ADHD have a difficult time sitting still, are constantly on the move, cannot finish tasks that are started, find themselves daydreaming, and having a hard time regulating emotions. Now, the cause of ADHD has not yet been diagnosed. There are many assumptions being made as to what causes it, but there is not a clear diagnosis yet on the disorder. A lot of students that have ADHD are considered students that like to act out, that like to misbehave, when in all reality they just cannot regulate and control their bodies. Now, below is a link of a student with ADHD that kind of discusses his daily life and the hardships that he has to overcome on a daily basis. The third behavior disorder is bipolar disorder, which is an inheritable but treatable illness which affects the brain, the most important part of the body. Children with bipolar disorder suffer extreme changes in mood, energy, thoughts, and behavior, which sends those who have the illness on an emotional roller coaster. Moods cycle between opposite extremes of mania and depression. Students can also be what is called in a mixed state of both mania and depression. A lot of times suicidal thoughts are present during that state of mind. Now, students that have the depression state, some effects that would be visible in the classroom would include decreased energy levels, excessive crying, lack of motivation, feelings of worthlessness, disregard for personal safety, sadness or irritability, and thoughts of death or suicide. Students that are within the manic state of bipolar disorder may display effects such as increased energy levels, irritability, easily distracted by others, racing thoughts, overly talkative, and hallucinations. Now, below is also a story of a student and how that student is dealing with bipolar disorder. Now, keeping in mind the 3 behavior disorders, autism, ADHD, and the bipolar disorder, They all have very similar solutions for the classroom. Now, creating a calm, structured environment with visible procedures in your schedule is very important. It is very, very vital that the students know what is expected of them within that classroom, and having that structure allows them to feel safe and secure. Having that schedule visible also eliminates all surprises and lets them know what is going to be happening throughout the day. It is also important to make sure directions are clear and precise. Now, directions should be given one at a time, and the students should say the direction back to the teacher to make sure that there is no confusion on the assignment given. It is also important to allow more time to complete necessary tasks. That can be from completing homework to transitioning between subjects. Reducing homework amounts is also important. If the assignment requires an essay format, it may be more beneficial to put that essay into a multiple choice or a true and false for the particular students. Also, seating the students in the front of the room to allow full concentration on the instruction given is vital. Avoiding any unnecessary noise or disruptions by providing headphones, and allowing frequent brain breaks to absorb and process information, whether that's going for a walk or partaking in an activity that the student enjoys. Now, with all of these solutions, obviously they will have to be revised depending on the severity of the student, the age of the student, but they are proven to be very beneficial for those students within the classroom. Every student is different, and some solutions may not work as well as others do. As educators, it is our job to be flexible and never give up in terms of trying to find the best solutions for our students. It can be difficult, but deep down they are so grateful for what we do for them. Now, one of the most important solutions in helping any child with a disorder or not is to build a strong relationship with that child, letting that child know that he or she can be successful regardless of what hardships need to be overcome. It is also important to maintain a relationship between yourself and the parents. That way ideas can be bounced back and forth that may be successful in the classroom as well as home environment. Please take time to view the following video. Although it has nothing to do with behavior disorders, it truly solidifies why we become educators. Building relationships is key to student success.